I've got two properties just south of Laramie, Wyoming, just north of Fort Collins, Colorado, right between the two in Tie Siding, Wyoming. I'm circling them right here. It's a 2 acre property and a 1.8 acre property, essentially 1.77 acres. I'm going to start by clicking into one of them. I'm going to talk about both of these properties. They're not contiguous, but they are right next to each other, split by a small portion of private land. So I'll talk a little bit more about the location of these properties, roll through some of the photos. Going to start with a quick disclaimer. This isn't legal advice. This is not real estate advice. This is me simply sharing my thoughts and opinions on this property with you through my 10 plus years experience in the industry and through my own due diligence, right? So this is what we do at Wilco Land. We specialize in offering raw vacant land. This is our niche and this is our specialty. So talking about these two properties, I'm going to pull up satellite imagery. I'm going to talk about utilities and answer a lot of those common questions. You can see this is a pretty cool area. I've actually been out here. Like I said, it sits kind of smack dab between the middle of Fort Collins, Colorado and Laramie, Wyoming, two pretty cool cities if you haven't been there, and definitely up and coming and growing. So I want to talk a little bit about the landscape. It's got some cool topography. It's got these boulders out here and tie siding and things like that. So our photographer did a pretty good job of getting these photos and whatnot. You can see as you roll in, you've got these cool rocks and rock features basically and things like that. And here's what the property looks like from satellite imagery. Let's look at these two properties before we get into some of those FAQs. I'll talk about how you can go view the properties on your own too. We do offer more of a self-service model in this video, but before we get into all that, let's talk about the properties from a satellite imagery. And let's give you a bird's eye view of the location first and foremost. So down here is Fort Collins, Colorado. You head up 287, you get right off Highway 287. This is an easy drive right off Tie Siding. You're going to drive right into this area, cross these railroad tracks, and then you're at the two properties bundled here, right here together. So let's talk about this from satellite imagery then. You can actually drop down here and get on Google Street Views and look at these properties from Street Views. I thought that was pretty cool. I always want to share this with folks. You can see it's pretty straightforward. A lot of these properties are actually fenced. So I don't know the history, but it does look like these properties are fenced along the road. Maybe one of the nearby ranchers has fenced everything around the road just to make sure it stays in there. But looks like this property has had no previous land use. To me, when I think about a target audience, this is a place you can build a house. This is a place you can park your camper. Maybe you want to do something creative and just use it for storage or have a pole barn out here. There's a lot of different reasons why people are investing in land. I think at our price points too, it really makes for an attractive land investment. I believe in these assets. I believe that the future is land. There's a land rush that people aren't talking enough about. So we're going to be extremely competitive with our price point. We do move land fast. That's the nature of our business. We're actively buying and we're actively selling. So we're not sitting on these properties for years to come. We're in the business of getting deals done. So if you are interested in something like that, get with us. Sometimes there's some room to negotiate on the price, and things of that nature, or even we could offer seller financing. This is a unique property too. This is the 1.77 acre. This is the 2 acre property. Both of them come, with power nearby. That wouldn't be a huge concern of mine. It looks like somebody's built a pretty nice home down here, and they might even be on solar. So those kind of look like solar panels a little bit to me. So that's something to think about out there too. Thinking about alternative options for solar and things like that. So again, this is the 1.77 acre that we're looking at. This is the 2 acre property. I think the 1.7 acre has had some sort of historical use. Looks like there was maybe some sort of dilapidated structures on it, maybe an old farmhouse, something like that. This kind of looks like a power line too. So like I said, power might be running right up and down here. Might be no issue having that power line there. Otherwise, you've got a lot of space on this one to, again, build, do some sort of shop. Maybe it's just a place to park a camper too, right? There's a lot of different reasons why people might use a property like this. And I think it's kind of cool. It's got these rock features, like I said, on the properties, that it's cool. I mean, it adds some topography. It adds something unique about that piece of land. So I think this one's kind of unique and different with that rock features on it. So pretty private area back here. If you're looking to get away, you've only really got one neighbor. I'm not sure if that's somebody's house down there, if that's like a utility, like a governmental structure for utilities or something of that nature, the railroad, that could easily be that too. But like I said, pretty rural area outside of Laramie. And outside of Fort Collins, like I talked about there. So again, you got the train track running by it as well. Getting off satellite imagery, let's talk a little bit more through these listings. Both of them are going to be pretty identical in terms of photos. I'll click into the other one here last. The way I like to go view these properties is using Onyx Maps. Again, this will be really easy to access. This land will be. You're coming right off Highway 287, taking Hermosa Road back to these properties. And then again, our property is right here. It's right off Hermosa Road. It's going to be easy to identify. I like using Onyx Maps, Onyx Hunt here, because you can actually see private land ownership if you set that layer up with the elite version of Onyx Maps. I do have a blog on the website, giving you a tutorial on how to use this app for successful land visits. Here's a 1.7 acre, again, easy road access right off Hermosa Lane or Hermosa Road. So you can read through the description there. I do have some of our photographers' videos linked here. You can click into that link. You've got the parcel ID, the county, things like that, the zoning. If you're curious about what you can and cannot do specifically with the property, go ahead and click into the website, the zoning website here for the county, Albany County. Again, power lines are in the area. Camping and RV is allowed out here. And again, you can use these GPS coordinates to go access the property. Going into the 2 acre, it's about the same. A few different photos, it looks like. You can see that 2 acre right here. Pretty good from satellite imagery. And it even has some of the 1.7 acre photos in there too. So this is that road coming in here. So it gives you an idea of what you're looking at out there. You've got some distant views of the mountains out to the west and south as well. So again, kind of same story with this property. These are almost identical listings. If you're in the market, give us a shout. The last thing I'll do is show you guys Zillow, teach you guys a little bit more about the market out here and show you some of the value that we're offering in these properties. If you want to stick around, I'm just going to go to land for sale out here in Albany County, essentially. I'll draw a line around, or I'll zoom into tie siding where we're at and maybe just draw a line, keeping it in Wyoming, around Laramie, kind of this region right here that we're selling it. We'll go to home type. We'll go to land alone. We'll apply all. And what we'll do is we'll actually go price low to high. And we're asking, you can see our asking price in the video. We're asking, not much more than 30,000 for these listings. And, we're undercutting the market by half, and that's how you move land fast. This isn't even a full acre, 90 days on the market, for 77 grand. Obviously it's a little bit different, probably a different location closer to Laramie or something, but still, this is really close. Tie siding is to Laramie, Wyoming. We'll see how close it actually is on Google Maps here, but you're 19 miles away is all on 287 where there's no traffic. That's a really easy drive for somebody who wants to, basically live out in the country and still get to Laramie for work or amenities. But like I said, extremely undercutting the market. That's how we move land fast. Unfortunately, as much as we'd love to keep these properties, we're in the business of buying and selling, right? So just get with us if you have questions. I do have other listings out there in Wyoming. Just head over to our listings page. You can sort by state here. We've got properties across Alaska, Wyoming, really all over the United States. And you can give us a call if you have questions. We do offer a little bit more of a self-service model, so feel free to go look at the property on your own using those GPS coordinates, walk it. Like I said, my favorite app is going to be Onyx Hunt to use for that. If you're interested in other land deals, we've got some really attractive prices on the website right now. You can see that here, whether you're looking to be out in the Black Hills, Carbon County, Wyoming, or Riverton, right? We've got some stuff down in southern Montana too that's pretty close to the area. So give us a call if you have questions. You can reach us here at 605-299-5553. Thanks for tuning in.